Any Formula One fans out there? This thing is crazy what's happened the second half of the F1 season. The guy on the left is the legendary former champion, Sir Lewis Hamilton. The guy on the right is the one that owns everything, Max Verstappen. Lewis Hamilton pulled off an unbelievable upset at the British Grand Prix in Silverstone. He beat Verstappen when Verstappen made mistakes in the pits. Lewis Hamilton, who's won 7 championships, has won the English Grand Prix 7 times, beat Verstappen, blew by him coming out of the pits. It had been since 2021, 3 years ago, since Lewis Hamilton had won a race. It was not competitive at all with Team Mercedes. And of course, Verstappen runs for Team Red Bull, and he has owned F1 for the last year and a half. But since midseason, everybody's coming after him and people are catching him. He's got involved with wrecks. He's had flat tires, pit snafus. All of a sudden, Lewis Hamilton comes out of nowhere to win the British Grand Prix. Absolutely stunning story, because everybody was of the opinion that Lewis's career was done. Team Mercedes is going to lose him because he's going to Ferrari next season. Going to be fascinating to see what happens, but nobody saw Sir Lewis coming and getting the victory. And there's another young driver by the name of Landon Norris that has run very well, has won a race or two against Verstappen. So Team Red Bull, which owned this sucker for the last couple of years, suddenly is just not the same team. And there will be driver changes, and Verstappen may opt out of his contract. I find it hard to believe that he would leave Team Red Bull and maybe go somewhere else, but that's one of the rumors around the paddock on the F1 series. John, auto racing?
Well, it seems like if you get the pole position, right?
On the road courses.
On those narrow courses where it's so hard to pass, you can put yourself in a situation where you start winning one race after another.
If you have horsepower and handling.
Yeah, of course. So what happened with Verstappen? Did his car get redone, or they had a new strategy with the technology?
No, he's had problems handling. He's had problems with bumping tires with other drivers, chasing him into corners. He's had problems where he's made mistakes. And then he had a pit screw up in terms of what type of tires to put on, and he never recovered from the pit foul up, because those pit stops, 5 seconds.
It's unbelievable.
You're in, these are the tires, you're out. Geez, if you don't put the right tires on or the weather changes, now you're in all kinds of trouble. So Verstappen's had a lot of I wouldn't say non-race issues. He's just had a lot of things happen to him the second half of the season. You say, wow, everybody's catching up to him. And the Norris kid just has no fear. He races hard. He chases them down. They've rubbed tires. They've knocked each other out. It's really weird because Verstappen owned.
Well, it's good to have, not the same guy winning all the time. So it gives fans someone else to see, someone else to root for. Lewis Hamilton coming back is great, but what about some of these other younger drivers?
Well, do you have horsepower? Do you have handling? And all these younger drivers and all these other teams, the answer is no. And that's why there are going to be more driver changes, I think, at the end of the season. Okay, we go from auto racing. Hey, if you like F1, you watched it? I watch it all the time, 4:30 in the morning. I watch it all the time. I like Formula One. In fact, they're getting bigger TV ratings than NASCAR's getting. And of course, IndyCar's schedule is so scattered throughout the calendar because they're not running the mass number of races at NASCAR. NASCAR, I think, runs 36. So you never know when the next IndyCar race is unless you're a fanatic and have the calendar in front of you.
So the ratings for F1 in the United States are better than NASCAR and Indy
right now.
See, that's kind of good in a way because it's more that international blending. It's like European soccer is popular here as well. I like that.
Well, the game plan is F1 hopes to have 5 races in the States by 2026.
Cool.
So that's a group that won't allow Michael Andretti to join the fraternity over there with Andretti Cadillac.
Yeah.
Okay, so